See why I would have to watch it.
Okay, call the working meeting to order. It's 6:04. First thing on the agenda is the turning lane per the residents' concern, turning in and out of 25A. So the last time we talked, you had a case file. I don't think I noticed anybody out there.
There was somebody, they did the survey.
Oh, they did, okay, so what'd they find out?
Let me see if I have it here. Do it from memory. Basically, they did the survey. They determined that there was not enough room for a third lane and the bicycle lanes that are required.
Okay.
We haven't gotten the, that's not official until we get the letter. That hasn't been sent yet. Oh, it has been sent. Okay.
I had it.
Oh, okay.
It was mailed from John, not you.
Okay. But they said that because there hasn't been enough incidents, traffic incidents at the corner, that they don't think it's not going to be going on to the priority list.
Okay.
Okay. The signs, they're going to be replacing the missing signs. And when they go down to Van Brunt Manor Road, they made repairs to the sign, they trimmed trees. If the village determines they want us to do another survey for that corner,
That one.
for that corner.
I
we'd
think
have
that's
to
the more
enter-
dangerous one.
Okay, we'd have to enter a new petition for it.
Okay.
Okay. At the same time with the petition, besides the tree survey, I would also ask them to do the outside corner of the road, to trim that back more, I would assume, so they can get better line sight to oncoming traffic.
All right, you want to put in a new petition for them?
Sure.
Okay.
I'd be glad to. And basically they said, because there hasn't been anything outstanding on that corner for a period of 3 years, it hasn't met the criteria
Okay.
for them to spend money on.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's somebody hurt.
Yeah, we couldn't about Washington.
Well, we were talking about Washington, but now it's
There was an incident just the other night.
in Van Brunt Manor?
Yeah, a little deer, but you could just see, he's just beyond the curve, heading east, and still alive, and then, police cars, people who hit it stopped, and it was because there's no way they could have seen a deer. Not to say that deer don't hurt anything. It was clearly because of the, yeah, this is because of the way people were whipping around, and he just couldn't stop. It could have been pedestrian or a car. There's really no place to go.
There's another one hit right here, just east of Washington Street. Was there a Tuesday?
Yeah, deer get hit. I mean,
That's basically what it
That's-
says.
but it's just that intersection, and we all agree, everybody in Poquott knows that's a dangerous intersection. But the state will say, well, how many incidents was there?
Okay. So, all right, you put the petition in then for Van Brunt.
Okay.
You know what, I'll make a copy of this and send an email with this to the president.
Okay.
Okay.
If I can get a copy, so I have the contact information.
Okay, the planning board meeting, you went to the last one, right, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
So where are they up to with the dock law?
They're pretty far along. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but I think the meeting on Monday, they'll be presenting what's been done so far. They'll make some further corrections, and then they'll be giving it to you for checking over.
I think that's right.
Basically, they have all the things down that they need to do
Okay,
and how they're going about it, and they're adding on sort of an extra section for municipal docks,
okay,
which takes out all the things in residential that shouldn't be there and puts in a few more for the municipal dock. And basically it goes along the line of the residential, but it changes whatever needs to be changed.
have you been on the emails that they were sending around, like, where they were working on it?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so it looks like they're gonna probably have it done in a month or two, don't you think?
Hopefully, I think they're looking
Right.
to have, he's gonna,
I think they're close, I mean, I think
They're
I'm
closer
looking,
to that.
now looking over the draft.
Yeah.
They've had a couple meetings, the last meeting, they agreed on some language, the language went into a draft that was done, a lot of work went into it.
mhm.
And I'm looking it over for the meetings on Monday night.
Alright, so I'll table that until December, we'll see if there's any updates.
Mhm.
Okay. GEI, the report on the trees,
I gave you the draft survey of it, the summary.
Okay,
Roger and I are having a conference call tomorrow, and we're discussing what type of information they're going to be giving us, the database and the shape files for the maps in.
okay,
So once their GIS person has it, they should be able to produce something for us on a disk that we can use. But basically, it's that information.
okay,
So we'll be able to, you know, pull out everything and what we're looking for. It tells type of tree, where the trees are, the condition of the trees, how much stormwater it drinks, how much CO2, money it saves on electricity, and tells us all different trees that can be used for replacement.
okay.
Okay.
Do you wanna, once you meet with Roger, come up with, maybe we break it down by area?
It is broken.
Okay,
It's,
I didn't, I just.
there's about 4 areas.
Okay.
I think there's one map.
I mean, we can come up with a
Yeah.
plan, you know, a couple of year plan.
Right,
Okay.
right. And I think she would be helping us with that.
How many trees do they actually have to take down?
Yeah, 8 to 10%. Well, they didn't, they said that they're in bad condition, dead or dying.
They're all over.
Some of
So
them
that'll
could be-
give us-
Some of them could be trimmed back though and come
Some
back,
can be
right?
trimmed, yes.
Okay,
So looking forward, once we digest this, which is a lot to.
That's a lot.
mhm.
What have we, do we have a process with how we're going to then start to decide what we're gonna do, the next step, and how we're gonna review this? I mean, it's just looking at this, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, well, the next step would be, I think, would be to pull out the bad trees and make some type of ongoing plan about how we're going to get to them.
But you said there were so many bad trees, so, I mean.
But we're not gonna do it in one weekend.
Okay, so are we going to?
Maybe a year or two.
Well, I'm thinking process.
Right.
Are we going to have a meeting and literally start to carve this up, or are
We
we
should,
gonna
yes.
kind of?
Yeah.
That's an enormous task.
Yeah.
It's enormous task and it's not gonna be 1 or 2 years, there's a lot. We don't
There's
have
a lot.
money, it's
Right,
really.
no,
good stuff.
but clearly we have to take it all in order to prioritize. Because
Mhm.
there's probably some trees that we have to jump on.
Would we now be able to get a grant as,
What he was
that
what he
will-
was saying.
We'd have to identify a grant that would be for it, but with this information, the way it's prepared, it'll just plug into their systems and it'll make it much easier for us to do it. Particularly since it's overwhelming, so we would be probably higher up on the list.
this is what I've been saying
Right.
for how long now? That there are so many that are really bad?
Right, right.
Yeah. What happened with the tree that was on Chestnut? Did they take that down last time?
No.
Okay, so do we know, was that one of the ones that was down?
Yes, well, that
No,
tree,
it-
they definitely said has to come down.
Well, they said, what did the report say?
The report said that it was one of those trees that you would want to at least trim up, take care of the problem issues with it. and then really have a horticulturalist take a look at it. Because the root system is so large in a tree of that size. It would be a problem with the road.
Well, we're not actually, at this point, taking and removing the stumps,
No, but they don't.
so they would still, at this point, be holding the ground together.
For a while.
For quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes 10 years for a stump or more
Mhm.
for it to actually disintegrate.
Can
Right.
the tree on Chestnut Lane?
I don't know, I'm not an expert, but
Okay.
I actually am in favor of cutting back. It's unbalanced, it's
Right,
leaning all
you
the way
don't wanna
over, and it's
balance
got
it.
the weight of all these
Right.
very old vines
Okay.
pulling down. So if it could be trimmed and saved, I would prefer that anyway, but,
They said it's really bad.
yeah, it probably is, and like I said.
They also said that all those trees along right in that area,
Yeah.
where all the vines are on them, need to be cut.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we might even wanna think about having somebody just do
cut the
the
vines.
vines.
Mhm.
Because that's a huge, effect on the trees.
Maybe we should have 4D look at that, because they did the vines on Stevens Back, and that looks good. Right?
We can do that.
Okay.
Or David can cut the vines too.
But
Yeah,
to
just
answer your
cutting the
question, I
vines
don't
isn't
think
fine.
we have to
Yeah, no, you
somehow
just
Yeah.
go along and just,
say this isn't,
once
this has got to
once
come
you
down
cut a
tomorrow.
section out of
Yeah.
it,
But I think
then
we
they all
should
die and
see
they
about whether or
get
not
brittle
we
and they
trim
literally
those,
just
so
fall
that's
down
a
in the wind.
Yeah.
Weighed in
Right.
favor of pruning that. The
Okay.
main branch goes all the way like this, you can take that off.
Where's that across street from your house?
Across the street from my next door neighbor Charlie, we could.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the first thing is get the vines. Then it's right on the listen.
Well, then you had other trees that had to come down too, right, that you didn't get to last time?
Yep, there's two up in front of Long's house, two in front of Basili's house,
These are all in Washington?
yep. Two, there's a stalk and then another one that's bad, right on the border of Basili and Cohen. And then there's the one that the trucks keep hitting on the side of Mars' house on Washington.
Do you wanna get a price to see what they'll be taking down?
Well, they told me they'd work by the day. You know,
But will they be able to do all these in one day?
I almost doubt it.
Okay.
I mean, we saved a lot just on the fact that they didn't have to sit down and take it all away last time. And David on his time, not village time, has been moving people's houses.
All right, well, why don't you see what it would cost to do the ones that are left?
Okay.
Okay. So I think we still have,
I think we have $5,000.
I think we do too.
Do you want me to do another day and then see where they get to?
Well, let's ask them first, how many days will it take?
I don't know if they can actually give you an answer, because it depends on the traffic. You know, if they set up and now people wanna get there, they have to keep moving their cars and their trucks, which is what happened on New Street and Maple. They had to move their trucks 8 times.
Oh, for people to get in there?
No, they would sit down there, somebody would come down, they'd look and see, and then one person would go out, and 10 minutes later, after they get the trucks back and set up, I wanna get out now. So maybe we wanna sit down there and just, let people know that there's gonna be
Signs
Yeah.
up the day before.
something
Yeah.
sent out.
You
Right.
should be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
It's just common courtesy, it's not a big deal,
Well, the tree service
People
can't
park
do that,
that
we
they
have to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, and have them just park at the end of the street.
Well, now they would be on Washington Street, and they're all on one side, so the trucks would be on one side of the street. So we just have to make sure that, you know,
If we're gonna take that one tree that's otherwise healthy, but it's the one that kind of leaves over the road and trucks through it,
yeah.
I would say that the tree in front of Charlie's house needs to come before that. Because that gets hit every blue moon, it's not like one of these things that's gonna
It's
come
been
out and take
hit
out
twice
electric
in the
power.
last couple of months.
Yeah, but we're talking about something that could knock out electric power to 4 homes. on Poquott Street. So I think
Are
that,
we looking at a lawsuit from people hitting the truck, you know, a truck hitting it?
I can't speak for everybody, but I'm just saying that if you're objective about it, you need to take care of, and I'm not saying to take it down, it's a big job, it's gonna be an expensive tree to take down.
Well, it's actually a small tree, so it's really not, I
Okay,
would
well,
s-
I'm just saying.
Your
that
tree.
there's other tree. The other, that tree, at least that main part of it that's making, leaning over, needs to come off so that it's less of a danger, and then we'll worry about it down the road. Before we worry about some guy who hits a tree. It's a relatively small tree you're talking about. It's,
Well, the tree on Chestnut, I think we should have 4D look at. Right, you said it's a lot of vines?
yeah, but the tree itself is far more
yeah.
than 4D could
That
ever
one,
show.
that one big branch, that limb that came down, was infested with carpenter ants. Was that really creepy? Because I cut it up, and these things were all over the place. So, and the inside was hollowed out when they were living and working. So, you know, it came from all the way to the top, so you have to assume that those ants are pretty
Going
much
all the way
wrapping
through.
it up, yeah, so. I'm pretty sure that once that tree comes down, you're gonna say, well, that, you know.
But you just said you don't want to take it down, right?
No, I said my preference would be that any tree that could be saved, cut back, and not just taken down, and, you know, be encouraged to come back in a healthy way. I would like to see that.
Okay.
But, and if this, I doubt this tree is one of them, but we're just talking about saving money in the short run, you know, in terms of how much budget we have left for tree, that I think this should be attended to halfway, which is to at least take away the danger out of it. You know, if we have all this extra money, it's up and down.
That was the tree at Maple and New. And that's the way they all are.
Yeah, all trees of that age has, the ants on the inside, it's the outside of the tree, how strong that is, that you have to be concerned with.
And that was the berm. And that was not caused by that.
This one, the one over there. Okay, so why don't we have a tree person look at that tree and decide if we know what we're gonna do, okay? You find out how much it would cost to take the ones down on Washington,
Okay.
okay?
Probably Saturday.
Okay. Next thing was, the list of potholes, so we didn't have that many, the price came out to $8,200. The recommendation, well, first of all, if we wanted to do it now, we have to put it out to bid, which we're never gonna get it in for the winter anyway, but his recommendation was to wait. He felt that it's gonna just be, there weren't, he went through, he added some ones that weren't on here. And he didn't think it's gonna be so terrible to just wait until the spring, because he thinks it's gonna be a lot more. So I'm gonna hold this for the spring, we'll honor the price, he said, for the spring, and then we can bid out everything at one time, so. Joe, you wanna give us an update on the, oh, okay. Joe, you wanna talk about that swing set, that donation?
Yeah, we got the 4D to give us a loan of one of the trailers, and then 4D went up there yesterday to review what it looked like and what kind of a size trailer we would need. Harry would be able to haul the trailer, he's got the proper connections for it. But the gentleman from 4D said, we're gonna need a lot more than 4 guys to move that, because it is heavy as hell. They tested it out the other day. His suggestion was take it apart,
Okay.
move it in pieces. So I think that's gonna be a little instead of taking it down and trying
And
to
then we,
get
then
it
do we
one
need a
piece.
trailer?
No way we're gonna get it in one piece.
Then do we
Way
need a
too
trailer?
heavy. So we'll have to take it apart. And then the owner, or the company that had it, childcare place, they've got the slides for it, they're gonna bring them down themselves for us. But, yeah, we have to get a crew together on some Saturday morning and take that thing apart, label it all as we take it apart, and then put it back together again down at the park. So,
But then, do we need a trailer?
Yeah.
yeah, we'll probably still need the trailer, so we can take it apart in pieces. And like I said, 4D will lend us one of their trailers, we just have to notify them by Thursday of the weekend, Thursday before we take it. so they got it ready for us on Saturday. So
Okay. Was
I've
there
got their
one for that?
numbers and
I think,
we'll have to discuss it.
I mean, that's lots of pieces.
mhm.
And even if you take like the major pieces and just try to move them and not take everything apart, those things are still big. That's gotta be 8 or 10 feet, 5, maybe more.
I think the major problem with that is when they put that thing together, they probably filled all the legs with some
With
8 legs on that thing, with
Sand or
sand.
something,
Mhm.
yeah.
So that's why, you know, he had a couple of his guys up there with him when he was looking at it, and they couldn't meet the budget.
They couldn't move it up.
So, yeah,
I'd like to just, maybe I'll do it myself, is to just go over and make sure that something that's been around for a little while can be taken apart.
Mhm.
Now, if you have, if it's, you know, bolted together and the bolts are all frozen and,
You wanna go up and take a look at it?
yeah, I would like to do that.
yeah,
Okay, so it's up on 347, right? We've been saying the
It's actually
address.
on 347, I thought you said it was like.
Just
so-
off.
Just off the side.
So, is it visible from 347?
no,
No,
you'd have to go down the side street. Do you know where,
Oh, we tell you, give me, I'll
Okay,
write
I'll give
I'll
you
write it
the
down,
directions.
you know.
okay, I'll give you the directions.
Where's it going to be placed?
We're thinking Mayor's Park, where the turtle is. And,
and then maybe having David box it out with 4x4s, and then we'll put fill in underneath it.
Does it need to be sunk in with cement or?
No,
and see, that's, I really do want to go see it, you want me to go and you can run it.
Yeah, give me a call whenever you.
doesn't look like it was cement.
Oh, okay, it's not like a swing set.
No.
No, it's a,
Yeah,
And
okay.
if those legs are all filled with sand, that's probably what holds it down.
Yeah.
they couldn't even rock it.
I mean, there's,
Hope it's not cement.
Yeah, but that's nothing. How do you know that it's, that there's not, it's not put into cement below the surface?
No, it's
Oh,
not, no.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you'll go look
I
at it, and
definitely
you'll
want to
report
see
back and let us know. Okay.
If it's sand, maybe the legs out.
All right, number 6,
handcuff.
the company that's working with Verizon to put the antennas in the village, I sent them the list of our questions. They emailed me back saying that they forwarded to Verizon. I haven't heard back from them yet, so I'll table this until December.
Is this for cell phone or is it for internet?
Cell phone, I think it's only Verizon cell phone, right?
Verizon cell phone, yes.
Because I was saying that, putting that thing in, across the harbor.
Oh, the cell phone tower.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
okay.
yeah. That might be for all cell phones across there, I don't know. I know that poor Jeff worked on that for a long time, right? Like, so like 10 years. Mhm. Okay, the next thing is, Joe, I wanted to just give you this was for the paperwork that I needed, because this was a lot, confess that.
Thanks.
Rental permits. Frank and John said they got comments back. Did anyone else besides myself send them comments? No, okay. Did anyone have any issues they wanted to change, or they saw anything that they wanted to change? Did I send you a copy? I don't know if I sent you
I
a
don't know,
copy.
I think,
Okay.
if you did, I think we'll include them.
Some of the things that I thought is that, and he thought that you and I should talk about this, Joe, is that on the form, he wanted to have a section block and lot.
Okay,
Okay, and I didn't know why we needed to have that. He said to speak to you and find out if that was needed.
who are we speaking about?
Frank,
Because it ties into other information that we need, like the tax bill and things like that.
okay, so we should leave that on there then?
Yes,
Okay. In one of the sections, he asked for a survey of the lot, and then there's different things that, let's see, what section is it, page 4. He has like described the structure, the number of people living there, the dwelling description, and then the last thing, number 6, is that you have to do a survey of the premises, not drawn to scale. My thought was he could take 1 through 5, which has all these things, and put it onto the actual survey, so that way we know, instead of having them do it each time. Do you think that would be okay?
yes, except that the number of people residing there is gonna change, I don't know, or couldn't be, normally you wouldn't put that in a survey, and it's gonna change anyway. That
We
was
could
one
just
of
put
the,
that on the form then,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Why do we need that if we're going by bedrooms?
This was just, when you read this section, it just was a diagram of what the house looked like and what the rooms were. But then there were different things that said, individual sleeping units contained in there, how many people will be accommodated by this and reside in them. So I just thought if they have to do the survey, and they have a bedroom here, they could say two, you know what I mean? One, just so he knew how many people went in
Oh, I see.
there. Instead of
Yeah.
having to write that
In
all
other words,
out.
if you had a large enough bedroom, you can have two people in there. I'm just thinking one bedroom, one person, and so if you have the number of bedrooms, you already have the answer to that.
Right,
So, okay.
that's all. I just figured they'll just put it right on the actual form of the survey, so that they don't have to write all this out and then do the
It
survey.
would be a plan, it wouldn't be a survey.
Right, okay, so I'll,
Yeah.
all right, plan.
Or diagram, something else, it wouldn't be a survey.
Uh, And that was the only comments I had. So I told them that I would talk to you about those things. I'll send you a copy. You can make comments and send it back, and then we can schedule this for next month.
Okay, now, normally when you go through this, one of the things you do is you compare it to either the certificate of occupancy for the house that we have, or if we don't have a certificate of occupancy for the last set of plans that we have on record, you know, just to make sure that there's no new bedrooms created or areas of the house that really aren't bedrooms are being used as bedrooms,
Mm-hmm.
you know, things like that. So I'll mention that to Frank and maybe go, you know, just tell him what we need to do.
Okay.
The one concern that I had had when you first got started on this idea, is that there's a trade-off between having all this information and having such an onerous process that we basically encourage people to just say screw it. And so you have more illegal people, you know, not bargaining to even get down that road. And I know that I've seen some villages have a very simple form.
He was simplifying the form, and I thought I would have had it tonight to give you, but I'll have him email to all of us.
Okay, well, I think the form is part of this whole process
Right.
of having the rental registration.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to keep that concept in mind, that while there's no end to the things that we could ask for, but in doing so, we're making it a longer and longer process, harder and harder for somebody to put it all together, and more likely that they're just going to avoid doing it, just say, take our chances.
Well, I think we simplified the first one. This is more like the law, you know, which Joe will end up making it
The
law.
law is fine.
Right, but I think the forms is what we really have to focus on, how we should be to fill out. So, he's off today, so I'll just email him and tell him to send everyone the forms, so we can look at them, okay?
I'll look you up later.
Yeah, I think, what we said, 6:45, right?
Yeah, maybe here later than that. I don't know yet.
Okay. We're waiting on the boarding company to do the final thing. Is there anything else that anyone wants to talk to before we get to them? They're not here yet. I don't see them.
When do I present the bill to be discussed and heard?
I guess it's a good time, right?
The change in law. Do I do it now, or do I do it later at the next meeting?
Well, we should give everyone a chance to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we should really, then it has to be a public hearing, so it has to be, it would be for next month, after Joe reviews it and changes.
But I'd like to
and
get
has
it
be changes.
put on
The agenda.
the agenda.
That's fine. Mhm.
Do you want it on for just discussion or a public hearing?
We'll do a public hearing for it.
I think a public
Yeah,
hearing.
okay.
So we need a motion to set a public hearing for the next meeting.
Maybe a motion, Mike?
I make a motion to set up a public hearing for the next meeting, or what do I call this?
So, proposed resolution modifying the regulation regarding fire pit.
The fire pit, right?
Well, isn't that gonna be 51-7?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a second? All in favor? Aye.
second on
Okay. So,
That's for the next board meeting?
do you want me to email this to you? So you can make
December?
the changes to
If
the.
you email it in Word, if you can get it in Word, it would help.
I can forward this over.
That'd be
Okay.
helpful.
That might be like a county comment.
All right, so if we don't have anything else, we could take a break for about 10 minutes until the wedding
I
company
think I
gets
just
here.
had one thing about the curve with New York State, since we haven't, can
Yeah,
I don't think that it's adequate that they responded that there haven't been enough incidents. I think that what we should ask them to do is to survey the intersections with regard to their customary design criteria, because there's no turning lane. You know, the problem is that there's no turning lane. You make if you're heading east, you make a left-hand turn from the lane of traffic. You know, that's what one of the problems, I mean, as an example.
Well, I think he sort of addressed that in the letter, I didn't really get a chance to read it.
But they must have customary,
That's what he
they must have
talked about.
design criteria that
Yeah.
aren't met here.
Talks about incidents and customary design.
I mean, you know,
You tell me what to ask him and tell him, I'll be glad to do it.
Basically, they're saying there's not enough room to put a turn lane in,
Without a taking. And it doesn't meet the criteria,
and you gotta have a bike lane there.
you have to have a bike lane, right? By state or federal law, I'm not sure which.
I think heading east though, turning into Van Brunt Manor Road, I know there's not enough room, but it's really dangerous.
Well, there have been some incidents there, I don't know how many.
Oh, yeah, years ago, there was
So-
a fatal crash, and they lowered, Cardwell's curve was much higher,
And there's been,
and
right.
they lowered it, and it didn't do anything really.
Mhm.
But they just said, oh, now we have an incident, so they came in and they lowered.
Well, I know the guardrails, when you're going
Right.
west, they've taken those guardrails down several times.
Right, right.
And that's not even the dangerous side.
So if the police came and, you know, they ticketed whoever it was or whatever, they had to get somebody towed away, it was down on the incident, so then they'll go through the list. And then whatever criteria they have, they'll have to
I-
put it into that.
I would
There'd
be-
more of a chance we can get something done.
It would be, my guess is they just don't wanna go and have to take away all the property from all those houses.
Well, right, that's,
You know, whether they
but they,
have to do it, we're gonna offer you this much for it. And then if they don't, then they gotta go through the eminent domain, and that becomes an expensive,
Right.
long time, you know, not in our time here.
right, well, they have checklists and criteria about when you meet that threshold to go for the expenses, okay? And this way they can, basically, it's not at anybody's whim, you have to meet so many, you know, a certain percent of those checkoffs in order to
But
move it to the
that
next
really-
level.
To make that left is really tough.
Yeah.
You know.
So what do you, so what is your
Even out
suggestion?
of
I think we should write a response to that. I'll help, whoever's gonna write it, I'll help them write it. Basically call them out on it. I mean, that's not fair. I mean, if you're looking for a couple of bad accidents, I mean, it's not really fair to the people that are involved in those accidents.
Mhm.
You know, that they, to create